that is making progress. The last thing is the IT forensic audit. I've been asked by probably 20 people in the last 2 days. It's not done. They did, as of yesterday, I was party to a call between our current IT vendor and the forensic IT company, and they were lining up to give them secure access to the server to continue to do their forensic audit of the system. They've been doing individual PCs and Macs, or trying to. Some of them they've had to try to what's called brute force. That is, they don't have the passwords to some of them, and so it's a program that basically sits there and churns until it finds the password. You don't go through 100 million passwords, believe it or not. I didn't know that. So that project is moving forward. Hopefully it will be finished, and we'll have a report from them after legal counsel reviews anything at next month's meeting.
Do you need anything from us to give you, do you have, is the budget currently satisfied the need?
They did relay to me that currently they're getting to the top of their retainer. And so, you know, there may be some consideration. The council wants to authorize some additional funds. Otherwise, I'm going to have to come back to you for them to complete that IT audit. But I don't have any results. Let me say that. I don't have any results of anything as of yet.
How much did we authorize in the last one?
10,000 was the retainer.
And this is to make sure that we have everything that the town is supposed to have?
That nothing has been deleted off of the system.
Okay.
And is part of the reason that they're running up, or a lot of the money's being used is because we don't have the right passwords and it's taken long for the, I'm sorry, the word.
That is brute force. That is part of it. It will cost more money if they have to brute force. They have to put more time in it versus, I mean, you can just imagine rather than going and typing a password versus using the machinery and time to monitor that. And then the number of devices.
I'm assuming we've asked the employees for the passwords?
Not directly.
This may be a...
Can we ask? Or did they leave the passwords when they left? Did they leave the passwords to their computers?
I don't have any passwords in my...
None that you've located.
Mr. Sessions, I thought at one point in time you said you would be able or might be able to get the passwords. Could you please do that?
I can ask. That's all I can do, is ask.
Do you mind asking?
No, I need to know specifically which ones and what you're talking about.
All the individual PCs and Macs that the employees have.
And was the Apple ID or something?
And just get a comprehensive list of what you need down and let's get it. And then if we need to come back in here, we'll do that. But with that being said, I almost want to make sure that we don't have to keep coming back. Would you prefer to go ahead and have us authorize it in case you need it, if you can't get it, or do you want to just wait to come back?
Let me clarify. I don't need it. So
No. I mean to complete the job that is to be done.
I'll throw this back at you, Councilman Hamilton. If you want the project to come to close sooner than later, it's better to go ahead and authorize additional funds.
Do you have an idea of how much?
I would say 5,000.
All right.
But y'all would need to authorize that with a motion like you did last month, and for that to come out of fund balance. If that's
Is
y'all's
there
pleasure.
not something, Lord, I just looked at all these numbers. I thought on one of the line items there was like 14 something. From January. Is there?
Okay, so that was what you're referring to, Madam Mayor Pro Tem, is that the auditing budget for the year, we had $14,000 left over after Mr. Brewer conducted his financial audit.
Okay.
And the discussion was had, if my memory serves me correct, that if we needed to have Ms. Wood's firm, GWI, do further, that money could be taken out of. Her estimate was if she had to, or if y'all's pleasure was to continue on, that would be about $12,000. So the discussion was, there's money still in the budget to cover Ms. Wood, if you want her to take the next step. However, there was not money in the budget for the forensic IT audit. And you authorized $10,000 last month as a board,
But
as a retainer.
if if we're not using this wood now and we have that line item in the budget, can we pull 5 from that and move it to that line
Sure you could.
item and not take it out of fund balance?
You could, you already have that for audit purposes, and if you have, depending on what this shows, something or nothing, you might need that for,
But it's 14, so that get us to 9, so.
what was provided to us last time was 12, I think.
12 was the estimate by GWI,
So
which
you
is
had
Ms.
to-
Woods.
You had to pull out general fund balance if you decide to go with the additional audit.
I'm still gonna pull it from the line.
I like that idea too, Lynn. And if we need more, to pull more over when we get to that step, then okay, but for now, it's already in the audit.
Mr. Rollins?
Whatever y'all's pleasure is, all I need is a motion to
So we'll
pull.
need a motion to move that. Well, Lynn, do you want to do that then? Make that motion?
Sure.
But he's guessing at 5,000, so if it goes 6,000, we're right back here, why don't we get an estimate before we start moving the money?
Let's get as much done as we can. If they're gonna be working till we see them next time, if it's more than
Keep
5,
going.
you know. So Lynn, if you want to go ahead and make the motion.
May I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
How much has been spent, do you know?
I just know his retainer was 10, and he told me he was getting close to it. He would soon go, that 10 would have to stop.
And what you said was he has been looking at the individual PCs and now they're moving to the server
Yes, sir.
and they're already at max, they've already spent.
Close to the max. Yes, sir.
And
And that includes the phone?
Yes. He's looking at PCs and the phone.
is there estimated turnaround time that they provided, that if we provide additional funds that they, another 2 weeks, 30 days?
30 days.
30 days? I don't wanna come back, like Mr. Audit said, but I don't wanna be waiting around. It's already been out there. We gotta, Mr. Sessions' word, we gotta get this done and see where this thing goes so we can move on. I agree. I think I'm agree.
All right, which one, are we moving the money or are we from the,
I'm fine with moving.
So I make a motion that we move the money from the auditor line item to the IT line item, I don't know if I have those headers right, in the amount of $5,000 so we can move forward and hopefully close this out in 30 days.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
A second.
Have a motion and a second, further discussion?
I'm not comfortable doing this. We're spending money on stuff we don't know what the cost is, we don't know how far this is going, and we just keep spending money, and I'm not comfortable doing it.
and I can't imagine that we wouldn't vote to make sure we have everything. So,
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
But,